All right. Okay. So here we are. I'm gonna wait for some people to come in. Just wanted to have a chat about the new MPC in town that's been leaked. Uh, yeah, I missed out on the conversation last night. The guys from Dad Beats, King of Caesar, I Am Sighthead. Um, so I wanted to come on and kind of share my thoughts, I guess, and see what y'all are thinking. Hopefully my stream audio is in sync with my video. If it's not, then I'll probably just jump out. I don't know. And I guess I'll make a beat. Work on a beat. Mm, Meantime, I know it's early in the morning as I usually do. I got a few pictures of the keyboard right here and the keyboard in question. So if you guys are out there, come on in, chat with me. Yeah, so this is the first picture. I think everyone's seen this by now. Most of you have seen it by now. But we're going to talk about it. Yeah. Let's see. Really should have some music playing in the background. I'll just make some music. I'm using the Era Music Kit today. Jump in this. I hope I'm not private. Hope I didn't go live and just have it set to private. Yeah, so I see a few of you jumping in right now. I know it's kind of quiet over here on my end. Just kind of getting things together, just really casual. But I got all the pictures, pretty much all the pictures that have been leaked on the keyboard. So Alfred Dawson was good. You've got gas for the Fabric XL. I mean, yeah, that's one thing. I'm glad you bring it up because the Fabric. That's one picture I didn't bring up. I couldn't find it. But if you're in the MPC gang, I Am Sight had posted it a while back. I don't know, it was quite a bit a while back before. No, I think the keyboard was leaked by then, like the prototype picture, this picture, right? So yes, the Fabric XL. I'm not even sure what it is exactly. I did have kind of like a feeling that it might be. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, that it's what you call physical modeling. So what do you know, Alfred, about the Fabric XL, if anything at all? Because if you got gas for that, you must know something. I'm curious to see what it is. I can't say I have gas for it itself, but I don't know what it is either, but I want it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, along with the Fabric XL, which is, I guess, I think there's a few Fabric new plugins in there, but along with that, I believe I saw, I don't know if it was Fabric, but there's some pianos and there's some strings in there, and that's what I recall, probably mainly because those are the kinds of instruments that I'd go for, acoustic instruments. Those are my go-to type of stuff over synth. That's why I haven't been super excited about all the plugins that we've got so far, like with 2.10. They're kind of cool. Like I like Hype, and it's cool to have a Mellotron. I like the Mellotron sounds. The Mellotron in this, it's okay. It isn't really. I don't think it's quite what, because I actually have some sample packs, like key groups of the Mellotron that I got off of eBay, which I think I like a lot better than what the plugin gives. But yeah. All right, King of Caesar, thanks for dropping in. DJ Rec, what's good? Let's see who else in here. So yeah, we're just gonna talk about it. Just have a nice little open conversation. So I mean, everybody has seen this, right? This is the first leak that I believe came out. Someone like had pulled it from. I don't know how you guys do this. Whoever does this, but they had pulled it from, I think, 2.10. So it's somewhere in the firmware, like just hid it in there. And I don't know if they do this on purpose or what, but yeah, it was in there. I don't know. But yeah, so we got a nice little overview of it here. I'll probably jump back and forth. And then this is the next thing that we saw pretty much was it sitting there um, right in front of Scott Storch. And then there's a video. I could probably pull up the video. I actually want to do that right now. So I'll go to Instagram and go to dude's. Like I searched a dude. I'm not even familiar with who he is exactly. Hopefully, here we go. So I'll just go to the video. I can find it. So there's a video, and the sounds on this are actually pretty clean. I gotta plug this up. Will it have more RAM because it will have 16 plug-in instruments? Will it? I don't know if it have 16. I haven't heard that myself. So if you've heard that, then I think you're a little up on it more than I am. I'll plug this in. Can't really go full screen on IG, but yeah, so here we see it. Yeah, so I'm gonna just go over here so we can hear some of the sounds. Like if these are the sounds that are coming from it, I think they're pretty nice. Let me turn it up, sorry. I like the sound of that bass. I think he's playing the bass right now, right? Those pianos are nice. It looks like he's just playing the bass line, right? Possibly right now. So the piano's already playing. But if these are like sounds from the new plugins, I like the sound of them so far. What do you guys think? Sounds like a Rompler. OP4 sounds like an FM synth. Oh, I don't look like a Chinese man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. See, I forgot to even ask you guys. So everything's working solid. I appreciate the tips earlier. I did look at some of the latency stuff, and yeah, adjusted a couple of things in there, so hopefully it's good. Just gonna let this loop for a little bit, and you guys tell me what you think. First time around, I'm getting one. Oh, you got a Triton expansion? You get major gas? Did you guys play this video? Cause I seen the picture leaked and I saw it on Facebook. But these sounds are nice, right? And I'm just talking about like the bass on there, and then you hear the piano. Gas meter is exploding. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll pause that for now. So let's pull that. But yeah, so you guys, if you haven't seen that by now you've seen it, now you've heard it. I'm guessing those are sounds from it. Like, why would they? I couldn't see them playing like, you know, using the new keyboard to control some other sounds. Possibly, could be. But they sound pretty clean. Yeah, I'm having some gas, some gas, a little bit. I think it would be really nice to have that just sitting right here, and I think I've put a 61 key workstation on this desk before, so I think it might fit. I had the Roland Juno DS. I was just thinking though, like I was telling you, the King of Caesar, I was telling him that it'd be kind of hard as like a YouTube creator to kind of camera it correctly, because you see I get this view and I barely have the MPC. So if I was gonna do content around it, then I'd have to like at least get like a third camera. But no, I'm kind of excited about it. Who knows if I'll get it. It's just, I think it's like, when you think about it, it's kind of like the dopest, like the best, like kind of concept for like a songwriter, someone who plays keys and wants to write songs, because it's all in one. Where have you seen, like for me, because I've been talking about songwriting a lot, right? Lately, at least, yeah, man. If you come around and anyways, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I want to write songs, and I've always wanted to get more into the keys, but I've always felt like I've had to pick between my favorite instrument, which has always been a sampler and specifically the MPC, because I get the best workflow out of it. Always having to pick between that and then a keyboard. So like if you have your keyboard, it's over here to the side. So for me, it's always been kind of an awkward workflow. I mean, I know it sounds like I'm kind of complaining, but I'm just like thinking about like the best possible workflow. It's always been my mind state. And if you have keys built in, you already have everything right there, right in front of you. And where have you ever seen, like if you're a songwriter, where have you seen a keyboard that has audio tracks built into it? So I don't know. I kind of wanted to look at, well, I'll go back and forth, but this is like the latest leak, right? A couple days ago, I believe. Someone actually got fired for posting this. Someone who works at like Guitar Center. So yeah, obviously they're trying to keep it secret, but it also seems like they're not. Like I also thought that the Scott Storch leak was kind of like staged. And like there's always a leak, so I feel like sometimes these leaks are staged. So, anyways, taking a look here. One thing I'm not seeing what I wanted to see though. It's hard to determine because there's not the back. If I go over here, maybe it would be interesting to see if there's actually like an XLR input, you know, so you can plug mics directly in if there's phantom power, because then you really do have the ultimate songwriter, you know, tool. You got an MPC. It's a sampler. You can put in any sounds you want, so you can make it sound however you want, and then, you know, just having keys right in front of you if you're writing music. It does seem like the ultimate. That's why I'm getting gas about it, because I always feel like I've had to make a choice between this being my centerpiece, like having a drum machine and pads versus keys. And yeah, so I don't know. So like, yeah, so we got the IO here a little bit. Most of it's covered over there. I think King O Caesar, you had said you had a video about this. I think you had mentioned that looks like kind of like a combo jack over there. See towards, if you look to the far right of the screen, like over where Scott Storch is, like right by the touchscreen on the back, on the red panel there. So it kind of looks like it could possibly be. That would be dope. So this is really kind of the ultimate standalone when you think about it, because you have keys. You don't have to actually plug anything in, which isn't a super big deal. I mean, it's awesome that we've now got MPCs that have USB, class compliant MIDI controllers that you can plug in. So that's really dope. I mean, that's kind of, I think MPC has kind of led the way in that as one, and many things as far as like these new standalones and way things are headed, you know. So but yeah, and then you could tell by this picture that it does have a bunch of IO, but you can't, I mean, this picture isn't clear enough to really, I can kind of see it, but it's kind of difficult to make out the lettering here. So, I mean, you can guess what some of these things are. Of course, like the volume knob top left, that's kind of how it is on the MPC, you know, Live 2 up here. I can't really make these out. Let's see, what else do we have? Pad banks. It looks like to the right of the volume knob is pad banks. So you got 4 of them right there, like 2 rows of 2, rather than how on the MPC you got, you know, just 1 row with the 4. I can't really, I don't know. I'm not going to try to see exactly what these are. I could probably guess. But you got a lot of buttons there. Well, if we go to the other picture, let me see. Maybe that tells us a little bit. Now, it just is blurry when I try to zoom in. I can't exactly tell. Maybe you guys have an idea what these buttons on underneath the volume knob are. Well, I won't try to guess it. I'll move on for now. And then, of course, we have the touch strip. You got the touch strip to the left of, or to the right of the pad banks. And then you got, of course, iconic MPC pads. 16 of them. And one thing I had crossed my mind, it was something that King O Caesar was saying when he was chatting it up with I Am Sight, when they're talking about this keyboard, is that if you look at the touchscreen, it looks a little bit, it does kind of like, if you like relative to the other things that are on the MPC itself, I mean on the keyboard itself, it looks like it's possibly a little bit bigger than the touchscreen on the MPC Live and on the One. I'm just saying, like, it compared to the pads, if you look at it here, so if you were like if you bring this screen down, it would only take up probably this much more space. And then so it's not quite the same size as the MPC pads, right? But right here, when you look at it, it looks like the screen is it takes about the same amount of space as the pads do. So after that impression, my next impression was possibly that the pads are actually smaller, and they could possibly be MPC ONE size pads. If you guys have ever used that, they're much smaller than these pads, right? If you ever used the MPC 500, they're even smaller than those. So that could be a possibility. Now I'm looking at them, I'm thinking that maybe the pads are actually closer, like they're not as distant. Like, you see all the space between these pads. They possibly could be a little bit closer to each other. I don't know. But also, yeah, like King O Caesar was saying, the screen it looks a little more square than it does rectangular. I mean, it kind of does look a bit rectangular when I'm kind of zoomed in here, but it does look a little bit more square. So who knows? I mean, I don't know. I'm getting caught up on that. That's not really a super big detail. But yeah, I'm gonna jump in the chat, see what you guys have to say about it, because I might be running out of things. All I know is I have a little bit of gas for it. I'd love to have a truly all-in-one standalone. Although I got it in the MPC in the Live 2 here. I hate this. There you go. All that buzzing. So yeah, I'm gonna run up in the chat, see what's going on. Have me a sip of this. Morning, Ali Star. What's good? All right, so first time you saw the video. Yeah, as soon as I saw that post on Facebook on the MPC gang, I went straight to look for who had posted it. And then I think this was like the first time I had watched it. But I think I watched it but never really paid attention to the sounds, because I was just too like, oh, okay, this is cool, this looks cool, rather than considering that it may also sound cool. The box pick with all the 16 plugins. So yeah, I had pulled that up, but I didn't notice. Oh, okay. So yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't think necessarily that means that, because I think you were asking about whether it would have more RAM because it has 16 plugins. So the MPC, so if you went to, like, I believe, okay, so we go to plugins, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So once you get to 8, it says the maximum number of plugin programs has been reached. The operation was not successful. So I'm guessing this is what your question was. So does it have more RAM to compensate for having more plugins, so that all those plugins could run at the same time? So I wouldn't assume that just because there's more options of plugins, that means you can open up more plugins, but that's definitely a possibility that they make that a feature, be able to be able to play all 16 at once. So interesting question. I hadn't thought about it. Looking at this, I'm noticing this. Obviously, it caught my eye for a second because I didn't see it before. Bluetooth, built-in Wi-Fi. So we already have that, like on the MPC Live too. On the MPC Live, since the original MPC Live, and I'm assuming on the X, the MPC ONE does not. I don't believe has Wi-Fi. So I believe you can like connect Ethernet. But yeah, let's see what else you guys are saying up there. Remember, people had gas for the Force. Yeah, I never really had too much gas for the Force, but even with like all the features, like when they added an arranger, King of Caesar, bro, that might be something for you. You said the Force is good for people who it's meant for. Yeah, well, it's got an arranger, bro. So I know you've been asking for that for a long time. But yeah, it never really sparked my interest. Even after that, like it. Sometimes I'm looking at it. Sometimes like maybe, but not really. Although it seems very powerful. So I've wanted a Key 61 since the start, but I'm not going to bag this. It's for keyboard players. Yeah, I would like to be a keyboard player though, like improve my abilities. So, but just another gas excuse. Like, you know what, this would really step my game up if I picked it up. Maybe I would actually step up my keyboard playing skills. You been wanting something like this, and they finally made it. Yes, that pick. Correct. It's marketing. I'm assuming you're referring to like the leaks, like their planned leaks. I think Akai paid Scott Storch and Coke to leak the MPC Key 61. Site said when they went into the code, they found that it will have phantom power. Oh, okay. Awesome. I wonder if that'll sound better than like the, because I'm really liking the UA Volt. I forget what model I got, but I've got the one with the 1 XLR, and I like how my vocals sound coming through it. XLR, TRS hybrid jacks. With those keys, you could have a command for everything on them. No need for menu diving. What do you mean? Expand on that. Like, you could use the keys to actually access other menus and stuff? Curious about the dedicated buttons. Yeah, I'll take a look at it again in a second. If you guys have any guesses on some of those. 10-inch touchscreen and what? Something size pads? Full size pads. Okay, that's your guess. Yeah, possibly. I'm kind of curious though why they. I mean, who knows? Like, I had price prediction that I had put down in one of the MPC gang posts. Someone was asking what our thoughts were, and people were comparing this to like an MPC X with a keyboard. So people were saying like 2,500, 2,800. Some people said that, right? People had the other end like 13, and I'm like, no, that's way too low. Because to me, if you look at this, to me, it's not an MPC X with a keyboard. It's more like an MPC Live, I was saying. Because you don't have 16 Q links, right? And maybe the touch strip makes up for it. Who knows? I haven't really looked at the Studio controller, the Studio 2 controller, to really see that functionality. Didn't interest me too much to look at it. Just don't care about controllers that much. So Who knows? I don't know. I think I've heard someone say though that kind of is the touch strip is kind of gonna take over for a lot of that functionality that you would get. I still think I would want the knobs, and I would still love to try an X, but I've never even seen one in real life. So it's like a unicorn to me, really. Like I ain't never seen one. Honestly, I don't know if they even exist. No, joking. Really. So to me, this looks more like an MPC Live with a keyboard. Um, that's what I was thinking because you got 4Q links, you have a touchscreen, you have the pads. Uh, I don't even know what the IOs, so you can't really say. Um, so yeah, my guess was gonna be that it's gonna be it's got to be at least a little more than an MPC Live. If it's got a built-in keyboard, you got to consider the cost of what a keyboard would be. And what was my other thought? Yeah, and you know, because MPC Live 2 is what, $12.99, $13.99. So it can't be cheaper possibly, and it's not quite the X. So I have, and then I was considering like the Roland Phantom that series that came out, and like that's going for like the same price as an MPC Live 2, like an MPC Live 2. So I was thinking the prices kind of got a rival, but then again, this is a much more powerful sampler, I think, than the Roland has, of course, because it's an MPC. I mean, that's what it really is. But I think coming back to what I was about to say before, is like, why, you know, if this is a 10-inch screen, if this is the new flagship, why didn't it doesn't look like a tilt screen, right? Like, this would have been great if it was a tilt screen. I think there's some other workstations out there that are tilt screens that came out a long time ago. Like, I don't know what brands, like Korg possibly. Yeah, I couldn't name them, but yeah, I mean, there's some workstations out there that go for hefty prices, like the Yamaha Montage. That's probably the only one I can name off the bat. Yeah, I know there's some Korg models that go like 3, 4, 5 grand, and I think you know, they're kind of older, but they had like touch screens or even like, I think, tilt screens and stuff. But if that is a 10-inch screen, and I don't know if this is the new flagship, and if it is going to be that price, I don't know why not put the tilt screen into it. And that would even, I always thought it was kind of funny that the tilt screen on the MPC X is like not flush with the rest of the body. It's kind of weird. Like, they possibly could have put the 7-inch screen on it and it would have just been flush, but maybe last minute they decided to put that on there. It's a little weird, but yeah, this could have had a tilt screen. That would have been nice. We'll see. If it has 2 gigs of RAM, it's gonna fail, I think. Yeah, it'd be cool to see if they upgrade it a little bit. 7-inch touchscreen, MPC ONE side pads. The Phantom only has 2 gigabytes of RAM. It's all about how they optimize the software. Interesting thought. I'm curious about the touch strip too. Maybe that will use it for controlling the drawbars of the organ plugin. Yeah, possibly. That could possibly be on the touchscreen too. So they'll still have to market the MPC Live and X's, so I wonder what's being left for them in the future. You like the MPC feel better than what, King L. Caesar? Yeah, I'm a little late on the chat, so I'm not sure exactly what you guys are responding to. What's generic? What I really want is a key setup that's just a controller. Yeah, this is what I was saying in my in the past stream the other day. Is like, because someone had mentioned they want an MPC Keys 61 version that's just controller, and I was like, yeah, that would be awesome if they made. I would like to see them make controllers. Man, what is with my neck right here? It's all red looking. But it would be cool if they made more controllers for standalone that work seamlessly. So if they made, because I know they make controllers like all the time that work seamlessly with the computer software, but you never see it like where you can plug into this. So if they made a controller version that had the screen and was an extension to the standalone version, that would be dope. That you just plugged in and then you can pretty much do everything from it, like the keys that you could do on your MPC. So the heart would be in the MPC, but you would just be running everything from the keys. Like just in general, if they started making controller devices like that. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let's see. Hi man, what's good? You been ghost, bro? Where you been? I was kind of on point with the price prediction. I don't know. Did you get a? Is there an actual price? Cause I ain't heard it. Site had a good point about the Midi CC filter in the software. The fact that it would be able to filter specific MIDI parameters will be good. I'm not even sure what that means, honestly. Hey, Bo Tyler, what's good? You want it, huh? Really? That's the dark side for you, cause you're usually all machine, aren't you? I swear, guys, I just seen a ghost. They're real? Really? Caesar got the price right. I hope they make an 88 key with all the 16 Q links and maybe 8 faders. I don't know if they're going to make all the versions. I can't really see that. That would be cool, though. And like had someone said, like a mini version, that would be dope if they made a mini version. I would be all in. I would, yeah. A mini version, like, that would be dope. It would still have to be kind of big. I wonder if they would actually make, like, something that's smaller than this with, like, an even smaller touchscreen. Like, a touchscreen, like, the size of your phone. What do you guys think? Would that work? Like, something, make a smaller MPC. Maybe MPC ONE size pads. A screen this big. Even more portable, put a battery in it. I think that would be dope. I wonder if you guys think that would that be playable, like in like grid view. I think I would make it work. That would be dope. That's what I really honestly would want to see. If they made that, I would definitely get the 61 keys and put it on my desk, and then get like take the mini version, the mini MPC. Like really, they got to do that, right? Like they're eventually gonna do. Like if they can really get the touchscreen to work well. I mean, you do all kinds of things on your phone, right? Doesn't matter. I guess the main thing would be like grid view. That's the most difficult, but you could really have a mini MPC with a touchscreen is the size of a phone, and not what size is this? This phone touchscreen is probably, if we look at it compared to the MPC. So the MPC has a 7-inch screen. This is probably, I don't know, 5, 6. I think that would be really dope. Who's on me? Who's on that with me? Who wants a portable one with like the size of a phone touchscreen? Let's go this way. Stay here for a second. Let's see. The 1800, 1899. They already have M Audio Oxygen Pro. What are you talking about? Who has that? M Audio makes that, and that's not a MPC. Okay, I'm just probably just lost in this. Yeah, man, Logic dictates that there are CPU and memory upgrades. Not a single fader. That's quite annoying for using the other software. I guess the touch strip could work as a fader, though. How do you feel about the channel mixer screen we currently have on the MPC software? I think it's weird to have a 4x4. Yeah, I mean, and early on I was thinking that it'd be nice to have a linear one. If you're used to coming from a software DAW kind of environment, then yeah. But I mean, it makes sense when, you know, it just relates to your pads, right? So it makes sense. It would be cool to have the option. This is one thing I hate on is this screen. I just don't understand this screen at all. Track view. But yeah, it would be nice, but it makes sense as is. the Force. Live 2 with a keyboard, hell yeah. It's not necessarily a Live 2 with a keyboard also, because you're most likely not gonna get a battery in it, and you're not gonna have a speaker from the looks of it. So yeah, it's not quite a Live 2. It's not quite an X. It's an MPC key, 61. 49 keys would be nice. Maybe 37. Or mini, if they could put like, what if they put a touchscreen like this on an MPK and made it an MPC and put it the size of an MPK? That'd be something. I prefer full-size pads. I think small pads and a smaller screen would be too small. Just me. I mean, it's possible. Like I finger drummed on the MPC ONE, no problem. And then even on the SP44 MK2 that has even smaller pads than the MPC ONE, and it's still possible. You just need your fingertips. So it's just a fingertip. But I guess if you have really giant hands, then it might be a problem. I think it's more of a problem probably for the screen, and like as you've seen people struggle around, and I've struggled around like in the grid view. That's my main concern, is just moving notes around in here. But that's not a super big deal. Just get your timing right, you know. Yeah, you can get your timing right, or you can use like, let's see. So you can just move stuff like this, right? And just nudge it. Don't snap. You don't necessarily need to, like, you know, grab it and move it. So, you know, you could figure out a workflow with it, even, I think, with a smaller screen. Yeah, it was kind of a mission to make a beat while I was talking about all this. Let's do that. Let me get back on this right here. I'm gonna get in the chat in a second. 2 bars is good. I'll quantize that real quick. Whoops. Turn that off. Timing correct. Can't get my swing on there. But yeah, I got lost in this. MPC Pocket. MPC Steam Deck. What, Stream Deck? They're just using the same keybed from their M Audio Oxygen Pro semi-witted aftertouch. Okay, so you're saying M Audio is owned by, I guess, In Music that owns Akai? Is that what you're saying? MPC Mini with 37 mini keys and 8 pads? Nah, you gotta have the 16 pads, I think. But yeah, I guess the MPK Minis have only 8 pads, right? You could do, I think it would be cool. You could just do pads the size of like the SP44 MK2. Those pads aren't bad at all, actually. So at the end of the day, I got an MPC and a keyboard controllers. I don't feel much need for the Key 61. What is the selling point for you guys that already have an MPC? Mostly just gas, I think. But then I was talking about how it would be nice to just have everything at the center right in front of you. Again, it's just kind of like a picky thing and just another reason, you know, to fill the gas up in yourself. You know, just finding reasons, I think. But yeah, I mean, I think there's one thing that's just appealing about having the MPC standalone in general for me, just because I love standalone and I'm not going to computers. It's just that you have a self-contained piece of equipment that has just about everything you need right in it. So like, especially if, like I was saying, if you're a songwriter, you got audio tracks, you can make a beat right here. You have 8 audio tracks. There's plenty. Like I haven't even used them, you know, like to its full capacity. But imagine having keys, so you have, like, if you're writing music too, you can really get into the vibe. I think it's just kind of like maybe a focus, like a flow state kind of thing. No distractions. It's all just right here. It's just right in front of you. I think that's what's appealing to me. And then the fact that it seems like it does have phantom power, so you have XLR input. You don't even need. So that's why it is kind of old, like the ultimate standalone, because it's already got an interface built into it, right? So you can plug in XLR condenser microphones, and you have the phantom power, you have the keyboard plugged in. So as of right now, with something like the MPC, you have just about everything, and you can plug in a keyboard through USB, and you can plug in an audio interface through USB. But this eliminates the need for any of that, and you really just need, if you're gonna record vocals, all you need is a mic and the keyboard now, and that's it. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. Like, you really don't need anything else now. Set of headphones. Like, if this doesn't have a, you know, if the speaker is going to be exclusive to the MPC Live 2, then you're not going to have a speaker in there. It doesn't look like it has a speaker anywhere, unless you guys can see one anywhere. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it at all. Unless maybe they're on the side or on the back somewhere. We haven't really seen a clear picture of what the back looks like or the sides. But I don't know. I don't think that's really probably the best place for a speaker anyhow. So, but yeah. So I mean, each one has its advantage, and if you can afford it, it would be, I think, probably the best combo would be to have an MPC Live 2 and then have this in the studio. So I mean, I really like the look of this, cause yeah, like I was saying earlier. I mean, it's such a silly complaint. You know, I'm not complaining, and it's not really a complaint you thought you had until, you know, something like the MPC Key 61 came out. But I mean, I have a pretty cool vibe going on here. You guys see, I have a keyboard sitting right here. But of course, this is a mini keyboard, so it's not. You're not really getting into this like you would full size keys. But yeah, I have a decent layout right now, so it's cool. I'm definitely not complaining, but I am giving myself some reasons to gas up and pick this thing up. But if I was just, being responsible, I definitely probably would not. Just money stuff, you know what I mean? So it's for keys players. Yeah, for sure. So, and I am very interested to see what some of these acoustic instrument plugins are coming. So, once again, like my last stream that was really kind of trash because my audio was off, I was talking about, I think I was talking about disc streaming. So, from the looks of it, and they still have stuff to reveal, from the looks of it, 2.11 won't have disc streaming. I just thought it would be a nice thing, and it was just wishful thinking that it would, so that you can really optimize. So using the key groups would be optimized in the best possible workflow, so you could just stream it from the hard drive and navigate and switch through different key groups easily, and to listen to them and play through them in the context of your beat, just as you would with any workstation keyboard rompler. But it does seem like, with also seeing the leak of the instrument plugins, that it seems like Akai is probably more focused on making those, because it seems like from the looks of it now, we've seen like the thumbnails for some of those plugins. I wish I would have found it. But we've seen like instruments that are acoustic instruments. So they're going beyond just mostly the synthesized stuff that we have so far in there. So it looks like they're putting their eggs in that basket rather than, pushing for the key groups advancements. And it sucks too. But it does kind of make sense. It was a point that I think Sight made and King O Caesar had made when they did their chat yesterday, was that key groups and expansions are a lot easier to bootleg, right? So because they're just folders with files in them, and people could share them. You could bootleg them very easy. And yeah, the point was made that you can bootleg software and stuff, but it's probably a little more difficult too. So it looks like they're going to be focusing on that a little bit more. My suggestion was that this whole sound browser thing was kind of along the lines of a suggestion I had, but my suggestion, the sound browser itself, was kind of secondary. My thought was that they made a plugin itself that would read key group files, right? So then it would stream them from the drive, and then it would allow you to play them from a plugin in the plugin section. Yeah, so the sound browser looks pretty dope though. I think one thing that would be cool would be if and I think they might have a way about, because I've seen that they have like a favorites thing where you can actually choose file locations and then just easily search through those. But it would be cool if you had a way, just now, since 2.10, they made an advancement where you can actually search. So if I want to search for all my kicks, I can just type in kick, and then it'll give me a list of kicks. So that was kind of my idea, if they had keyword buttons like that. So when you just press that, it would just search through your entire catalog of different subfolders. So this seems like a cool option now, where you can just put file locations, which is pretty cool. But then I think you would have to have all your kicks in one place. Who knows? We'll see. But I think ultimately, I think it would be best. It would be cool if you just had a keyword button, and then it would search every single folder that you have, like kick, snare, and it just searching all of them, and then they'd be all right there. So that would be cool. So we'll see. As of right now, it seems like there's no previews on drum programs. So I don't even know if the sound browser can actually browse through individual WAV files or just entire programs as of now, like key groups and drum programs. So we'll see. There's still yet some stuff to be revealed, as the keyboard has not been officially revealed. Yeah, we've been going almost an hour here. I'm gonna get in the chat and see what you guys are saying because I've just been kind of going off here. Jezza, you got gas, bro. Stay strong. Thank you. MPC M8 tracker. That M8 tracker is tiny. It's got like 4 buttons. I don't even understand that. I haven't really looked at it. All MPCs should come standard with a tilt screen. It helps while doing bedside beats. Yeah, I got my MPC on a tilt, so I mean it's definitely helpful. I mean it's just so bad for your posture. You know, if you ever been to a chiropractor, it's like one thing they'll tell you, because everyone spends so much time like on their phones and stuff like this, or like, you know, they got that tech neck, all these lines right here. I don't know if you're in the books still. Like, there's still people in the books, still doing the same thing. You know, you're on your PC, you're on your laptop, your tablet, whatever. So it's like that's not good for your neck and your whole posture in general. So yeah, they should definitely come with tilt screens. Cause I might have a case against Akai. You know, sue them for bad neck with this bad screen situation. Some updates to the key group second LFO would be nice. I don't really know much about what a mod matrix is or anything at all, really. It's not for current MPC users. I think it's keyboard players to get into the MPC workflow. I mean, it's just a one step closer to, like, I didn't even think, like, it was one step closer to something that's even more standalone in general. Like, it's that next step. I am kind of curious. Like, I was looking at it, like, it does kind of seem that the pads are secondary, so you kind of have a point. I mean, it's not. It initially, I'm like, oh, that kind of looks awkward if you're playing the pads over the keys. But I mean, that's how most pads are in keyboards, anyways. I mean, that's how it's got to be. Sometimes you'll see them on the side, but yeah, that does make them a little secondary. I don't know if we'll see. I don't know. What do you guys? What's your prediction? Do you guys think we'll see Beats by J Black on one of these? Finger drumming on this with the whole keyboard on his lap or something. You two are gas bros. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want, is that in the studio and keep my live tool on the go with me. Exactly. In an ideal world. Because this is actually, it's so funny. Like, one of the things that got the biggest hate about the MPC is actually one of the things that makes it so efficient and so useful, you know? Because I take this thing to work with me every day, and sometimes I barely pull it out, right? But it's very handy to just be able to turn the speaker on. Because sometimes I'll be in there and it's like I've nearly finished my shift and I've got all my work done, whatever, and I got a few minutes left. And I want to be ready to go, so I ain't like have the headphones out or nothing. Just flip the switch and start messing around a little bit. Just so you've been selling kidneys and keeping MPCs. Tagging system with custom tags, please, Akai. It'd be cool if they just tag naturally, if you could just put stuff in folders named, or even just put it in the title of the, you know, the file name, and it just tags it. That would be great. You only need one kidney to live. Yes, but you need 2 MPCs to live. At least. I wonder if they slip this stuff out to determine if there's enough demand and hype to start full production. That's an interesting thought. Yeah. Watch June 2030 comes around. Nah, still a joke. No, but it seems like there's enough hype. Yeah, you're reading on the Kindle though? Yeah. See, that ain't a real book. I read on Audible. I don't even have to use my eyes. That's healthier for you. If I had this thing, I'll show everyone how to use it. Yeah, there's a guy, Andre, that is awesome at finger drumming on keys. Don't even need pad. I've seen that. The speaker is the truth. Oh, I'm coming on to the end of the chat. Okay, yeah, okay. Definitely gonna get your hands on one. I don't know. I'll be right back. I want to work on this beat a little bit. So y'all keep chatting, and I'm gonna come back in a sec. I like those hats. Hats. Do those kicks, You know what would be a cool feature I just thought of? So you know, like how you have tap tempo. That'd be cool if you could like just like start finger drumming a little bit and like set your tap tempo so to your pad, so like as you're doing this, it'll actually set your tap tempo. That'd be cool to get a nice vibe, because if I didn't, because I can't really finger drum and hit the tap tempo at the same time. Yeah, so I think that would be a dope feature. I don't think I've ever seen that on any drum machine or anything. Putting your gas shirt on when you go home. Y'all need one massive gassy fart. Let it go, brothers. Let it go. Let it go, exactly. This kit reminds you of Della's Take It Off track. This is the, what's it called? Herb Music, the Essentials kit. Pads only secret society. Oh yeah. No MPC keyboard players allowed. No keys allowed. Let's see if we can examine anything else here. All right, so from the right, I'm gonna guess headphones because the MPC, most of the MPCs have the headphones all the way to the right. Okay. I guess obvious things are Q links. The big knob right there. You know, you got your plus and minus buttons, whatever. Like not trying. Obviously, we got transports, right? Those are easy to guess. But looking at the I/O, like that's what I'm kind of trying to look at right there. So headphones. I wonder if it's just marked for like your input, your input gain volume. Outputs. So yeah. So okay. So we got phones. I'm guessing. Level for your phones. No, that's the main over here. And maybe main outs. This right here, zoomed in right here, okay? Right above the Q links in the main knob. The big knob. Those are, I'm guessing, outputs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it looks like you have 8 outputs. MPC has, the Live 2 has stereo outs, and then 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So this has, I think, I'm guessing the X has that many outputs. 8 outs. Now it gets more difficult to try to figure this out. I wonder if the inputs would be all the way over here. This is MIDI. Difficult to say. CV gate. You're saying those are CV gates over there? Oh, you're right. I think you're right. That might be CV gates. Huh. So this really have. Why would they be right there though? So on the MPC, so this was probably your headphone out and then your stereo outs. And then next to it, CV gates. That does kind of look what it like the writing on there kind of does look like CV gate. Then what's all the way over here? Ah, I think this is output and input. And it looks like you only have a stereo output from the look of it. I don't even know how many CV gates the MPC has. The Live has, because it's not something I use at all. If I can not make too much bullshit noise. What, I have like 4 of them? Yeah. 4, but they're like pairs. Okay. I think it was 4 audio outs. Where did you see the? I don't know. See the back, that part on the pic. What on the? On this one? It looks like they just have. They're going out the headphone out, maybe possibly. There's just one cord right there. And are those, so those are the CVs? Is that what we're saying? Are those MIDI? Those look like MIDI right there. Ah, that does kind of look like MIDI, like possibly 4 MIDIs, and that's not actually a headphone out. It's just MIDI. So behind the Coke cans might be the headphone out. So if I go back over here. Doesn't look kind of. It doesn't really look consistent. It doesn't look like MIDI to me. I don't know. It is CV gate. You can see it in the other pic. So, but like to the left of the CV gate is that audio or is that MIDI? Because looking at the labels here, to me it looks more like it's labeled for what's it called, for audio, but then looking at the picture in the Storch picture, it kind of looks like MIDI to me because they just look like larger circles. But I guess the way that it's labeled, MIDI out. Yeah, so that kind of makes sense because the way you see how it's labeled, there's two lines as a pair for MIDI in and out, right? I don't know. Y'all's guess is better than mine on that. I'm not sure. Yeah, the small ones are the CV gates, but to the left of that. But it does look like there's quite a bit of I/O. There's so many labels here. Yeah, but I guess we'll see. I mean, I think that's about all the speculation I could do. I just I'd have wild guesses on what's next to these pads. I assume we just have some of this normal stuff that you see up here, you know, undo, copy, step sequence, TC. Although that kind of looks like this stuff over here on to the left. How many buttons? We got quite a few buttons, so it's more of an MPC ONE because you got a lot of buttons on it. It's an MPC ONE in a keyboard. This one I never use, Selena. We got presets in here, categories. Selena. What about Odyssey? Bass, pads, plugs, synths, leads, plugs. So I don't know what to do with synths sometimes. So I just don't mess with them. What do you mean last one was fire? The preset? Well, I don't even know which one at this point. Let's see. We can turn some delay off, some echo. I don't mess with any of this. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that ribbon strip thing, kind of because I think it might be able to mimic what the older MPCs did. With remember when they had, if you guys had MPCs prior to these generations of MPCs before the software controllers, they used to have what were called Q-Link sliders. So Q-Links were not just knobs. You had some knobs, but then you also had sliders. So I liked how those worked. It was cool because one thing I like to do was like, one thing you can do with in your program edit, you can go like you master and you can change the entire pitch of like your whole kit. And I used to like mess with that. So I just remember that being one of the things I could easily do with the Q-Link. So yeah, I missed the slider. So yeah, could be MIDI. You really want me to spit on something? What do you mean? Why? Yeah, I mean, like I said, I still ain't heard you were talking about doing some vocals, so yeah. Get a lead or something. I'll do my first YouTube vocals to this beat if I can collaborate with you on the beat. What do you say? Yeah. Yeah, you can collaborate with me on the beat. Like what does it need? How do you want to go about that? Hi man, what's up with you, man? What are you talking about? I want to do the bass line on the beat. Okay, so for sure. Like, okay, so what do you need? You just need this project. Like, just leave it like this, and you'll do the bass line. That'll work. Let me save it up then real quick. I'm going to save it up. Save it. I've just been, you know, uncreative with titles. Like, I'll just name it today's date, whatever today is. 6/14/22. So that's all you need. I mean, it'll have the drums in there, and then the chords and the presets. Has any sent it to you just like that? Okay, well, I'll just stop then. So what do you think it needs, though? Just a bass line and then vocals? Well, whatever. You can do whatever with it. So what you're saying, has anyone shared full MPC files for collabs? So I think that's what we're about to do. Ali Star, I'm going to send this to him. It's just a couple of drums and some chords. And it's just got just a hype preset, and that's it. So that'll be it. I guess I could just wrap this up. We'll just finish this chat up, and then I'll wrap it up since it's been like an hour. It's almost 3 a.m. Nice beats. Was good. Appreciate it. Jaime, you're a troll, bro. What are you doing? You commented a ghost emojis like an hour ago, and now you're over here Magic Mike. Go ahead, bro. Keep on trolling. Yeah, that's cool. That's the vibe, bro. We definitely gotta tap in. I want to eventually collaborate with subscribers too in the near future. We have some talented people out there. Yeah, I've thought about that, like how to even to do that. I've never been like a real good organizer, I think, and that's why I have thought about it. Like I want to do like, of course I've thought about it. It's not an original thought, but to do community kind of like sharing of music and stuff. But I don't know. I'm just so like scattered when it comes to my opportunities to come on here. Like, so it's difficult for me to commit to like a time frame and that kind of deal and be like, hey, you know, we're going to do this at this time. So I'm just kind of all over the place, you know, and obviously it's like 3 a.m. So, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe you have a creative thought on how to go about that. I'd like to hear what you had to say about that. The ghost just entered the chat. Do you think like ghosts can time travel? Because that's like the underlining theme of your presence. I don't know if you guys can put, no, you can't put links in here. I really wish I could have pulled up maybe I can find them. You guys go ahead and chat amongst yourselves. I'm gonna see if I can find, or like, hey, King of Caesar, if you have a picture of those leaked plugins, remember they were shared on the gang, and I think we pulled them up. We did the first like chat you did with IMSite, and I ended up popping in when I was at work. We were talking about the keyboard, talking about the plugins and stuff. I believe IMSite he had that ready for the stream. So I don't know if you have a copy, you know, where you can find one real quick and send it to me, that would be great, because I'd love to pull it up right now. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure where else they are. I don't even know where he found those to begin with. MPC, Akai MPC. I'm gonna just do a quick Google search. Akai MPC, leaked new plugins. It's easier to find pictures of the actual keyword, but like, I don't even know. What are double bass lines? Come on. Somebody, I need a picture of those leaked plugins. Where can I find them? Where can I find them? You know what? I'm not gonna sign out till I find them. I'll just sit here and look for them. The MPC has not been discontinued, right, guys? Let me see. Nope. $2,300. You don't have them? Okay. Can you call Site real quick? Just wake his ass up and have him send that to me. Okay. What are some keywords to find it? No, it wasn't discontinued. Let's see. I mean, if I can get in the MPC gang, I don't know, like search in there. Like I tried it earlier, but I don't know what keywords to search for. Somebody just texted me. I mean, let me see. What would be some good keywords to find the MPC plugins? See, plugins? Synth plugins? What did you send me on Facebook, Alistar? April 23rd. I'm gonna find this. That's my word. I'm not leaving until I find it, because I just want to pull it up on the screen, talk about it for a second. MPC Studio. Maybe I could just search through sites. I think it was one of his posts. Yeah, I'm just kidding, man. Don't call site. I mean, obviously I could try to call him myself, but nah, it's like, what is it like? I mean, I know you're at work, but it's like, what? Y'all are on the same time, in the time zone, and it's 7 a.m. now? Are you off work now? How do you, I need to know how to search. Can you search posts by certain people? Let me see. Yes, you can. Oh, here it is. Cool. So this is like one of the other posts. All right. So that's another like view. That was like one of the first leaks that we saw. I think that was the first leak. This was back in March 29th. Okay, so here is the leak. And I'm not sure where this is a picture of. Like, where did it come from? Did site ever say where this came from? Like, where did it come from? So, extra stuff we got. So we see some of the normal stuff. Like, what is this even a visual of? Like, honestly. You know, it's not. Did this also come from, you know, in the firmware or whatever? Like, deep in the code of the firmware? Oh, okay. Thank you, Alistar. I appreciate you sending that to me. I didn't look at it. I think that's because you're on. Yeah. I'm not logged into I'm sure you sent it to Lifted Noise. I'm not logged into that right now. But I think I got a notice regardless. But yeah, this is the photo. So we have drum synth, we have tube synth, right? We got hype. We got, electric piano? Wait, is the electric piano that's in here, is that made by Fabric? Or that's just electric? So it's something else, possibly? So this is electric, right? I don't see electric. Yeah, electric's there. So yeah, it's a different one. So electric's right there, right? Electric's right there. So electric piano by Fabric. So you see Fabric makes a few of these, right? Okay, we got Fabric electric piano, Fabric XL, and just plain Fabric, and then Fabric piano. And then, is that Fabric organ? No, I don't think so. But we got Stage EP, OP4. So what is OP4? Someone was talking about that earlier, right? Piano Rhodes, brilliant order. It's a Rhodes clone. That's the electric piano is a Rhodes clone. You seem to know a lot. You know a lot, Ali Star. How do you know so much? Okay, so from looks, like earlier, someone was saying, you look at the box picture, there's 16 plugins. How many plugins we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm counting 17. Okay, so it's new. Stage EP, organ, OP4, electric piano, Fabric XL, Fabric piano, studio strings, stage piano. So yeah, I'm excited about, of course, studio strings, Fabric piano, stage piano, and then curious to know what the Fabrics are all about. Don't usually care too much about electric pianos. So, yeah, there's not really much of an indication of what Fabric or Fabric XL are at all. But, as you can see, though, you can see that they have a piano and an electric piano. I don't know. I thought that might be a hint at something. So, studio strings, who knows who makes them? I mean, yeah. You'll buy them if you have to. Yeah, I might buy a few of those. I'll get the strings and the piano. Maybe the Fabric piano. I'd pay for those. And then I would probably wait for demos on the other ones because I have no idea what they are. So, yeah, that's where we're at, though. I mean, I have a feeling it's going to be a nice little solid piece of kit, that keyboard there. I remember, like, kind of picking up. You remember when they came out with, it was the Akai, I don't even know what they were called, but they were like a really legit keyboard controller. I forget what they were called. They're discontinued at this point, I think. Akai MPK? I don't think it's an MPK. What is that? So, I'm trying to find I don't remember what it was called. But I remember going into a Guitar Center and picking up, and it was like a solid controller. Like, it was hefty for what it was. Like, it was a controller. And I forget what it was. There was a software that they had come out with. It was kind of like the equivalent of, you know how like the Native Instruments has their controllers, like the complete controllers that have the ability to scroll through presets and stuff. So it has like a software that kind of organizes all that. So Akai had made something like that, right? I'm trying to find it because I can't remember what it was called. If anyone knows, just type it in the. Yeah, I think VIP was the software, right? So it was possibly the VIP software. And I think that worked for like just all plugins in general. It would organize all your plugins. But what was the name of the actual keyboard? That's the question. I just remember kind of testing it out. Just like the feel of it. And it was a solid piece of gear. MPC Live 2 is a solid piece of gear. It's really hefty, whatever. I don't know if that means anything to you guys, but it does to me. Like when you drop a lot of money on something. And I remember when I bought the MPC ONE, when I picked it up, it was kind of a disappointment. I got used to it, but it just felt like such a fragile piece of equipment, honestly. Like even compared to like the MPC 500, it was like lighter than it. It was kind of weird because the screen was at the top, so it was like heavier. If you would hold it, it was heavier at the top and lighter at the bottom. It's kind of awkward. But I can't seem to find. I might have scrolled past it already. Ali, you're a beta tester or what? The new Nico. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Remember those Nikos? Those were ahead of their times. Probably just kind of like how the Roland MV8800s were ahead of their times. That's why it didn't work at the time. But like really what we got in the MPC now is kind of like what the MV8800 was. Yeah, just intelligent. Yeah, I feel you, Ali Star. You just kind of deducing that. Makes sense. MPK, that's what it was. I don't know. It's not just MPK. It's like it might have been MPK, but it's not these MPKs. It's this one right here. I believe it's this one. Hold on. Dang it. Yeah, this. I don't know what store this is, but it's this one. Advance. That's what it was. Akai Advance. And they had it in a 49 key version, 61, and I believe a 25 key version. So it had a nice little color display and like navigation so you can get to all your like plugins and stuff. And then that VIP software, I believe, was what it was that organized everything. That was a nice sturdy piece of gear, but this is like discontinued now at this point, I think. $299 for that. But yeah, so this would be a solid piece of gear, right? Never seen that? Okay. All right, so where we at? So yeah, that's it. That's the assessment. I'm not gonna do any more on this beat because I'll be sending that to the King O Caesar, and he's gonna be rapping on it or doing some kind of vocals. I don't know. Maybe King O Caesar may have like them harmonies and all that. You know, I don't know. I haven't heard him. I told him earlier I've never heard him sing or rap or anything. So we'll see. And he's saying it live right here on the Lifted Noise channel that he's gonna do his first YouTube vocals on this beat. Alright, he's gonna add a bass line. So y'all gotta hold it to him, go over to his channel, subscribe, and then make sure to leave in the comments, hey, when you gonna put those vocals on that Lifted Noise beat? So yeah, hold him to that and make sure you do it. I'm gonna send this to him tomorrow. Some point tomorrow. And it's on. So yeah, that's it, unless you guys got something else to say. For those of you just popping in, because I see the numbers are going up in the chat. We at like 19 right now. It's a little higher than it was before. Go back, check it out. We were just talking about the keys, speculating, talk about how much gas a lot of us have, how it would be nice. I think it's like the perfect, it really is the perfect standalone. It's like even closer to what standalone means and represents. All you need, since it looks like it's gonna have an XLR, phantom power, all that, all you need is a microphone, some headphones, and you can make full tracks, vocals and all. You don't need nothing else. So it's a fully standalone. It's kind of a different kind of standalone, as like people were saying, like with the live, you really don't even need headphones. You don't need a keyboard. Well, obviously you don't need a keyboard. You got pads, you can play. But yeah, like for the songwriter who's a keys player or just prefers that way of playing, you don't need to be a keys player, or you can become one. I don't know. That's my excuse. Is like, if I get one of these, I'll just improve on the keys. But yeah, it's a dope option. So you don't need an interface, and you don't need a keyboard. A couple less things to plug in. So we'll see. Officially, we'll see, I guess, on the 23rd, right? It's only 9 days away. Crazy. And I wonder if they're keeping anything else under wraps. Because if they're keeping like 49 key versions under wraps, they're keeping that pretty tight. But I'm hoping for another MPC. Wouldn't that be wild if they just brought another MPC out of nowhere, just out of left field? But like I was saying, I want to see the Mini. I want to see the Mini with the touchscreen the size of this. I think that would be dope. Pads like the MPC ONE or even smaller. Why not? Put a battery inside. Yeah, he'd be held to accountability for the beat. Yeah. So go over there and harass him about it. Because it's not the first time he asked me to send him a beat. So. I don't know why they keep trying to take out all the models. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Like just discontinuing stuff? I mean, I guess they only discontinued the live. And that keyboard was a while ago. That was probably before they even had... That was before they started making these new gen of MPCs. That they had that Akai Advance keyboard. So, I mean, it happens. They discontinue stuff because it doesn't sell or whatever. But yeah, the only MPC they've discontinued so far is the MPC Live 2. But it's still supported because it works just the same as all these MPCs. And you can, if you have an MPC Live, you can still put, 2.11 in it and update to it when it drops, like on the 23rd. So, all right, for sure. I will send it to you, bro. Just grab the one for backpack-ish. That's what's up. Yeah, I've been wanting to show you guys a backpack that I have for the Live too, but yeah, I might do that video. Yeah, yeah, I'll try to do that right now. See if I can find the proper accessories to do that. I'll start right now. So yeah, I'm just gonna wrap it up as I look for this stuff. If you guys have any last words, go ahead and say them now. Otherwise, go pick up some lifted noise drum kits and sample packs. Go do that. Links in the description. Go pick up a t-shirt. Link in the description. I hate selling to y'all. I know you guys are just like friends coming in to kick it. But hey, for those of you who ain't been around, just coming around, you want to support the channel, you ain't got no money because you spend your last dime on an MPC, just give the video a thumbs up. That's all I ask. Share the video. That's all I ask. Share the video with all your other music MPC nerds. That's all I ask. Just thumbs it up. Okay, so I found some things. This. Yeah, that'll do. No, I'm doing it right now. So doing it right now. Just make sure it's saved up. And eject. What? That's not cool. Yeah, so alright, y'all. I appreciate y'all coming and kick it with me. That's about it. That is about it. Let me look up the Nico though, just for fun. What was it? Open Labs. These products were seriously like before their time. That's why they didn't. I guess they didn't hit at the time. That, like I said earlier, in the MV. So there you go. Look at that thing. That thing really had everything. It even had like a typing keyboard. I think it had like at the front had like a PreSonus. It had like a PreSonus like interface, I think, built in the front. Look, you got little MPC pads. I don't know if that was that a touchscreen. I'm not sure, because it looks like it has like a trackpad, like a little mouse pad right there. I don't know if it was a touchscreen. Yeah, and they made, it's fun. They made like a MPC version with like drum pads, right? Or I don't know, maybe that was called. Look, they had like a mini version, mini keys, like less keys. I think it might have been Open Labs Nico and Miko. Look at that, Nico, the drum pad version. And then I think you could put like any software on there, I believe. How much is this going for? Wait. Oh, this is a refrigerator magnet. I was like $7.75. I should definitely buy this magnet though. Should definitely get some gear magnets. I wonder if those are tiny pads or it's just a huge machine, because those pads look small in comparison to everything else. Yeah, Jezza, that would be dope. I think, you know what? I think there's some improvements with the Wi-Fi. I don't know whose video. It might have been like Av McCree or something. But someone mentioned something about like improvements with Wi-Fi. I think it was him, and I think they're gonna be able to do like seamless updates. I feel like it was already possible, but I haven't been doing them that way. I usually download the update and put it on a USB drive and then do it that way. But yeah, that would be dope. Like if you could like link up your account and send it directly to someone else's account, just send a project. That would be fire. Yeah, I like that, Jizza. Yeah. Yeah, well, man, it's all been a great little chat with y'all. I'm gonna leave because I'm hitting 2 hours and it's early in the morning. So God bless y'all. Just leave y'all with my tagline. Till next time, stay humble, lift noise, be bold, and God bless. Oh yeah, and run with your dreams. Oh yeah, that's it. Nah, I'm not gonna do all that corny stuff. But yeah, go ahead. You want to support the channel, give it a thumbs up, or if you want to do a monetary, look at the links in the description. Any of that stuff. All right? Yeah, no doubt, Jezza. All right, see you next time. Always appreciate you coming in. You too, Ali Star. Nice beats. Have a good one. King O Caesar. We'll be sending that shortly. Jaime. All right, man. Your ghost again. But I know you're lurking, maybe, possibly, in and out, playing some NBA 2K, whatever. I do have that game, though. I got the NBA 2K, just still haven't played yet. 2K22, whatever. Jabber in the Benz. Yeah, what's good? And thank you for coming in. Thank you for bringing up that Nico, man. I had forgotten about that. Zach M, peace, God bless. Alfred Dawson, thank you for being like the first one coming in. I think you were in the last stream too, so I appreciate y'all. Yeah. DJ Rec, I don't know if you're still in here, but appreciate you. God bless. And you know what? Till next time, like I said. All right. Peace.